Welcome to KTM Sports Nation. I am your host, Kevin Tyler McGuinness. I can't wait to start off this show. It's my first show. I can't wait to get into what's going on in our daily sports. And let's get to it, guys. Here we go. So, a lot is going on with the UFC. Dana White as the UFC White House preparation. He's trying to confirm who he wants for the UFC White House. John Jones is giving him a very, very hard time when it comes to scheduling a fight, because he failed with the fight with Tom Aspinall. So, it would be the 250th anniversary of America, which is July 4th, 2026. So John Jones was supposed to fight Tom Aspinall last year, but he failed to meet the expectations of the fans. So the main event would be right now Conor McGregor, most likely, because John Jones is, he keeps backing out. So the date is scheduled for June 2026, because I guess they didn't want to do it on the 4th of July. I don't know why, but, that's the date they chose. So John Jones is, I hope he fights on the UFC White House event, but I don't know. He's not reliable. And supposedly, according to Dana White, he says Conor McGregor is more reliable because, he's pretty much the face of the UFC, even though he hasn't fought in 4 years since he broke his leg at Dustin Poirier. I mean, it's up to Conor if he wants to really fight, because Dana says he's pretty much going to main event. The question is, will it be Nate Diaz or Michael Chandler? It's up to him. It's up to him. He last year he backed out of a fight with Michael Chandler due to a broken toe. Conor is personally my favorite fighter. So, I hope he comes back and, we get to see him walk down that ramp one more time. At least, what better event to do it than the UFC White House? I hope he does it. Other people that are rumored for the fight card is Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is like the craziest American fighter there is. The guy gets arrested like crazy. He's insane. And Colby Covington, he loves Donald Trump. He's always repping Trump. He wears MAGA hats. I don't know why Donald Trump wouldn't want Colby Covington on the card. He's one of the biggest draws. Still, even though he's kind of doesn't win much, he's still, a great entertainer. But the rumor is he wants to fight Paddy Pimblett. I don't think he's going to win against Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett is the real deal. He's just unbelievable, undefeated still. Even though he probably wants to fight Ilia Topuria for the belt, I don't think Ilia Topuria is gonna fight for the rest of 2025. So we'll see. He's supposedly a lot of rumors are going around that he's gonna fight Justin Gaethje in January 2026, which would be a sick fight because Justin Gaethje is one of the best, entertainers to ever do it. The guy is serious knockout power. Justin Gaethje is just one of the best. Ilia Topuria, though. You could put him on the card. The guy's knocked out Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski. He's knocked out, what's his name? Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira was unreal. Charles Oliveira was one of the best title runs, and all of a sudden, his chin got weak, and Ilia Topuria said he was going to knock him out in round 1, and he did. He dropped him. It was a matter of seconds. It didn't look like it was a fair fight at all. Ilia totally rocked him. But back to Conor McGregor. Conor, it's up to Conor if he wants to win, if he wants to fight. Michael Chandler, I mean, waiting a year for an answer for Connor. I mean, he should have just actually more than a year. It was probably 2 3 years. He should have fought somebody. I mean, he did fight somebody. He lost against Charles Oliveira. So I think the people rather want to see Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor because that's a 1-1 fight. You know, Connor lost the first one submission. That was one of the biggest shocks in the history of the UFC. Conor McGregor won by decision the second fight, which I personally think he won that fight because he knocked down Nate Diaz a couple of times. Uh, so a third fight and the trash talk between the two is like unbelievable. Um, it would be great to see the third fight be Conor versus Diaz. Uh, it's I think it would be very much more built up entertainment because they're both better on the mic. Michael Chandler only said how many times is he gonna say "see you on the top"? I mean, the guy's. I mean, he's lost so many fights in a row. I don't think he's got the same aura as he did. Um, so I think it's gonna be Connor versus Nate Diaz. I still think John Jones is gonna fight in the White House, whether Dana White wants him or not. I mean the possibility. I mean, Dana keeps saying he's not, which I understand why Dana would say that. I mean, he backed out of so many different. He backed out of so many different dates that he was going to fight Tom Aspinall, and it held up the whole heavyweight division. Now Tom Aspinall is getting ready to fight Cyril Gane in a couple of weeks, October. But I got Tom Aspinall retaining for a little while. So the only person that I could see that that could probably beat Tom Aspinall is John Jones, but I don't think John Jones getting that fight at the White House. So I don't see it. I don't see John Jones getting it. Because Dana White is almost 10,000% sure he's not getting because he doesn't because of all the times he's backed out, and he says Connor's the most reliable guy. I mean, if he backs out of the White House, I don't think he's gonna get another title fight or fight in general in the UFC ever again. Uh, so I mean, the White House has plenty of. Donald Trump is all for it. He's a big UFC guy. He said it at one of his campaign rallies. He wants it to happen, which I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see John Jones fighting. He's American. He's probably the biggest American UFC fighter there is. But just because of the reputation of him backing out, and then saying he's retired, I don't see it. I don't see him coming back. I don't see him really coming back in a way, even though I would love to see it. I think Conor has more of a chance to come back because, you know, he broke his foot 4 years ago, and you really want your career to end on a broken foot. I mean, Dustin Poirier, that was crazy. His leg snapping. I mean, it was like Anderson Silva. When Anderson Silva broke his leg, he was never the same. Conor probably thinks, in a way, he's kind of resistant of his leg because he, it's a change in it changes your whole thinking on fighting because when you have metal in your leg, it's not the same. But yeah. So UFC White House next year, July 4th. Well, not July. It would be June 2026. Like, it would probably be International Fight Week if I had to guess. So I would have Conor on that card. I would have Michael Chandler and Nate Diaz definitely as an option. I would have John Jones. John Jones. I mean, Dana's very hesitant about having him, but I would do everything in my power to bring him on that card. Honestly, John Jones, and then whoever's the champ, which I think will probably be Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall. It would be England against USA. Tom Aspinall's from England and John Jones from USA. It's perfect for the 4th of July card. So and then you got Colby Covington against Paddy Pimblett, which would be a sick fight, but I would think Paddy would win in a landslide because Paddy's one of the best. Then you could put Sean Strickland, Izzy, 2. Sean Strickland totally dominated against Izzy their first fight. Izzy hasn't really been the same since that fight. Honestly, he's he's gotten knocked out. You know, just been on the downhill. I would put Kamaru Usman against Jorge Masvidal. I would do that. That would be an excellent fight. I think. I think. I think Usman would win though, because Usman is definitely a better wrestler in ground and pound. So I think that would be the card for the UFC White House. Now moving on, we have John Cena. John Cena, and he's the heel was like one of the I don't care. In my opinion, one of the worst heel turns in the history of WWE, because The Rock was I think The Rock was supposed to be a big part into that, but then he totally bailed on WWE, went back to Hollywood, representing John Cena tonight. Hopefully, I think I would like to see John Cena versus The Rock for the last fight, or John Cena versus Edge. I mean, John Cena is a 17-time world champion. He's the greatest of all time. The guy is the GOAT. There's no argument, I don't think, with that. You got The Undertaker, Ric Flair, Triple H, Bret the Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels. You got so many other guys, but John Cena is undoubtedly the GOAT. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. He's scheduled to fight Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza on September 20th, which, it probably will be the final showdown between John Cena and Brock Lesnar for the rest of their careers. The last matchup for John Cena in December, I would like to see him versus Gunther. I mean, John Cena versus Gunther. I mean, Gunther is one freaking monster. I mean, some people like to compare him to Andre the Giant when it comes to size, and he's big. I mean, I don't want to see that, because I think it would personally be boring. Gunther is great. Gunther's great, but John Cena, I would think, need a bigger name like Edge, The Rock, in order to final cap his UFC WWE career. So I guess we'll see for that. And I mean, he's fighting in Madison Square Garden in November. So I would schedule him to have a big night that night against probably one of the biggest opponents. I would have The Rock at Madison Square Garden. The John Cena versus The Rock, build up to December would be great. You could start with that night right there at Madison Square Garden. It's the world's most famous arena. I think John Cena versus The Rock would be amazing as the last fight, but maybe they bring back Edge as a shock, but he's contracted with AEW, and I don't know. It's up to Triple H if he wants to do it. Triple H has done amazing things. He brought back AJ Lee. He's brought back CM Punk. Vince McMahon didn't bring back these guys because they had very bad problems with him. But Triple H, I guess he's restored relationships with these people, and now WWE is even getting bigger than what it was because Triple H is doing a fantastic job. So we have the New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox. Ugh. That's the 3-game series in Boston starting tonight. It's a very big series because the Yankees and the Red Sox, I think they're only a game and a half or a game separated between the top wild card. I mean, the Yankees going to Boston wouldn't be great for a 3-game series as a wild card. So the Yankees, I think their goal is to win the division, which they are 3 games back behind the Toronto Blue Jays. So Judge, if Judge plays better in the postseason, I mean, he's got to hit better than 200 in the postseason. I mean, the guy has been up and down constantly. I mean, in the postseason, it's been Stanton's been phenomenal this year in the regular season, and he continues in the postseason. The question is if Aaron Judge could be that captain that he is in the regular season, bring it to the postseason for the Yankees. He just passed Yogi Berra for the 5th all-time home run list. He tied Joe DiMaggio for 4th all-time. I mean, it's time for him to take that next level in the postseason, win a World Series for the Yankees. how many years? It's been 16 years since the Yankees won a World Series. 2009, it was against the Phillies, and it's been too long. It's time for a championship. The last time a New York championship was 2011 New York Giants, Eli Manning against Tom Brady. I mean, it's time for a championship to come to New York. Uh, it's Everybody's asking that question. Can the Yankees make a deep run again? I hope they do. I mean, Volpe just came. It just was reported by ESPN that he has a torn labrum in his shoulder. Uh, that's kind of a big injury. I mean, it's supposedly he had it since May. I mean, they don't tell the coaching staff. I mean, Boone, unless Boone was covering it up, uh, that he had this injury. I mean, I don't know. I I would hope. I would hope he would be healthy if they rested him and put him on a 10 to 15 day IL. Uh, but DL. I mean, um, but I think Jose Caballero, he's probably the guy. He's the guy right now. He had a great night last night for 9/11. He had 3 hits. His fielding was better, no errors. They had to win that game against the Tigers because everybody in the American League East won last night. I'm not sure if the Red Sox won, but the Blue Jays won against the Astros 6-0. So the Yankees got to keep up pace with the Blue Jays. The 3 games back. Uh, Looking at the postseason for the Yankees, they have studs coming up. The teams they're playing against the Red Sox. The Red Sox is the biggest series this series of the season for them because if they lose all 3 games and the Red Sox has the number, they lose all 3 games. They could lose the wild card top spot, or they could lose the American League East. And if only they had Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is one of the best pitchers in baseball, but he had Tommy John surgery. So hopefully Max Fried and Luis Hill is could win a couple of games for them in Boston. I mean, they're gonna need they're gonna need those guys. They're pretty much their aces since they don't have Garrett Cole anymore. So competing with the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, the Yankees got to respond. They got to respond. The next, and then after the Red Sox, they have the Twins, the Orioles. They have the Orioles a couple series. So you just gotta hope that the Yankees could pull through. Now I want the Yankees to pull through because that's my team. That's my New York team. So I mean, to see them, it's time for them to bring a World Series, the best franchise in the history of sports, 27-time World Series champs. You would want them to win. Uh, but it's been 16 years. It's a little too long for them to not win a World Series. You know, Judge is constantly an MVP conversation. It's time to win the championship. It's time. He has the home runs. He has the RBIs. He has the average. That needs to come in the postseason in October. And the bullpen's got to be good because 2 games ago the guy Fernando Cruz with a 2.5 ERA, he walked like 5-6 guys. You can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. If he's supposed to be a great relief pitcher for you guys in the 7th, 8th inning, he's not. He can't walk that many people. But that's what it comes down to for the Yankees to make it. I mean, then you got Juan Soto. Juan Soto with the New York Mets. I mean, I call him the traitor because he betrayed the Yankees. He betrayed my team, but he signed a 15-year deal beginning of the season, $765 million, and they brought back Pete Alonso. There's 2 major guys that were supposed to put them over the top, and now they're only a game and a half lead in the last wild card spot. They've been a big disappointment. Big disappointment for the Mets, honestly. I mean, Juan Soto has been great. I mean, he's been good, but it's everybody else that's not been good. I mean, they have this new guy, McLean. He's unbelievable, unreal. One of the best new pitchers there is, and they're versing the Texas Rangers tonight. I don't know. They got to start winning, or else they're gonna be out real quick. Because you got the San Francisco Giants, and you got the what's the name? Who's the other team? San Francisco Giants. They're a game and a half back, and the Cincinnati Reds a game and a half back behind the Mets. I mean, if they're 11 games. They just got swept by the Phillies. So now they're 11 games out of first. That pretty much is a wrap for the NL East. They're not winning that division unless the Phillies lose the rest of the games, which is not going to happen. So the question is, are they going to be a wild card team, or are they going to be out? Pretty much. I mean, the Mets, they're in, I don't know, they're in a tough situation. Uh, I don't Lindor is great. Soto's great. Pete Alonso's great, but they just haven't showed the last month and a half that they could win as a whole team. Uh, the question is, can Soto elevate his team, built around with like Lindor, Alonso, and others to, finally, make a final push to the postseason, maybe take the second wild card spot. I don't know. It's gonna be hard. We'll see. The standings. What do the standings say? Let's see what the standings say. The Yankees. So the Yankees are the top wild card spot. They're half a game above the Red Sox, which pretty much if they lose against the Red Sox tonight, it starts tonight in Fenway. The Stanton has great numbers in Fenway, so he's gonna have to play big. Everybody else is gonna have to pitch great. So they've had problems with the Red Sox. So it's the Yankees, Red Sox, Astros, and Mariners. The Astros and the Mariners are tied for the division right now. So who has a better record probably wins between the two. Obviously, he's going to win that division. So I mean, and then the Rangers are 2 games out of that. 3.5 is Cleveland. The AL wildcard's heating up, but when it comes to the Mets, they're only a game and a half up. Game and a half up on the Reds, the Giants, and the 3 games against the Diamondbacks. But they're 4 games behind the Padres and 8 games behind the Cubs. So if the Mets turn it on, maybe they could take a second wild card spot, and they play the Padres in the next couple of weeks. I mean, actually this week they play against it's the Texas Rangers, then it's against the San Diego Padres. I mean, it's in their hands. I mean, if they want to make the playoffs, they want to keep losing, they're going to be out because the Reds and the Giants are right behind them. Right behind them. So I mean, it comes down to if they're serious, because every year in August and September, except last year they made a good run. They made it to the National League Championship Series. They lost to the Dodgers, who were actually the World Series champs, and the Yankees lost to them too. Everybody has this debate who wins more because they won more, the Mets than the Yankees. The Mets had a better season than the Yankees. That doesn't mean anything because they lost. They lost. They lost to the Dodgers. So, if the Yankees lost too, but they made it to the World Series, the Mets couldn't get it done. So, Soto, Lindor, they gotta step it up. They gotta step it up with the rest of the team. The pitching has got to be better for sure. Besides McLean, McLean's probably the best new pitcher in baseball, and this guy Tong is unbelievable. I mean, Tong is starting tonight against Jacob deGrom. That's going to be some matchup. Jacob deGrom is probably the best pitcher in the last 10 to 12 years. The guy's been absolutely incredible. His numbers are out of control. The guy is unbelievable. His ERA is unreal. He's got a 2.78 ERA. He's 11-7. He's got 169 strikeouts with a .93 WHIP. The guy is unbelievable every year. And he had Tommy John surgery. After Tommy John surgery, when the guy's healthy, it's like nothing happened. I mean, every year he's been absolutely insane. This year he's got a 2.78 ERA 1.69, then the year before 2.6, then 3, then 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 1. The guy's like a 1-2 ERA every season. He's incredible. And I don't see the unless the Mets string a couple hits. I mean I don't know if they're gonna win tonight against them because the guy's lights out. Um, so I guess we'll see when it comes to that. So and tomorrow is now we're shifting to boxing. We got Canelo versus Terrence Crawford. That's got to be one of the best fights in the history of boxing. It's a super middleweight title fight. It's going to be in Las Vegas. It's streamed on Netflix. Prelims start at 5:30. Main card at 9 p.m. They're probably going to be walking out probably 11:30. So I would want Canelo to win. Both fighters are weighed at 167 pounds, so they both fighting championship weight. It's it's a major jump because they both are moving up 2 divisions to challenge at 168. I mean, I think Canelo is gonna win. Canelo is unbelievable. I mean, it's cool that Dana White is in charge of it. Canelo is 63, 2-2, 39 knockouts, riding a multi-fight win streak in the natural 168-pounder. Crawford is 41-0. I mean, 41-0 with 31 knockouts, aiming to become the first of 3 division champion of the 4-belt era. Supposedly, but even though Crawford's undefeated, I mean, supposedly the favorite is Canelo is a favorite, -160 to -170, and Crawford is +130 to +140. So the round's about to 9.5. I think Crawford. I like Crawford, but Canelo is unbelievable. Canelo's pressure of his punching his accuracy is insane. He's got one of the best head movements in the history of boxing. The guy's a freaking killer. Terrence Crawford, his instincts is unbelievable. His speed and ring IQ carry up 2 weight classes against the true super middleweight. The guy is unbelievable. The bottom line is, I think this is a big legacy fight between the two. Canelo's dominance at 168 against Crawford's bid for unprecedented 3-division undisputed status. Yeah, it's a true pound for pound era decider. Canelo is probably one of the best that ever stepped foot in a boxing ring. I wouldn't definitely have him over Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson or Foreman. Those guys are the goats of boxing. I mean, the influence that they had on Canelo and on Terrence Crawford and on Deontay Wilder and on Tyson Fury. Those guys are all good, but they look up to those legends. I mean, those guys are unbelievable. Canelo with 63 wins. It would be his 64th win, whether it's decision or knockout. Canelo is and he's on a win streak. I mean, and Crawford hasn't lost. It's gonna be some fight tomorrow. I mean, I hope Canelo would win because I've always been a fan of Canelo, but Crawford is ridiculous. Las Vegas too. I mean, it's one of the most biggest influential betting. It is the biggest betting. If you had to bet on it, I mean, I would bet on Canelo probably to beat Crawford. I mean, Canelo 63 wins and 39 knockouts. Even though Crawford doesn't. Crawford's just he's unbelievable. I like both guys, but I think Canelo wins not easily, but Canelo wins by a knockout. I would say knockout within 6th, 7th round. Yeah. I mean, I think they should. I mean, whoever wins, I think they should have a second fight right away. I mean, these guys as the biggest sports boxers in boxing right now. I mean, Tyson Fury against. I mean, Usyk is great too. Usyk against Tyson Fury. I mean, Usyk, has been mopping the floor with Tyson Fury. I don't think Tyson Fury will ever be the same against Usyk. even though Tyson Fury keeps retiring and unretiring, and even supposedly the fight is going to be scheduled again. And another, I think Usyk's going to beat him again. I think Tyson Fury's washed. I don't know if he doesn't have the speed anymore. Usyk is 37, 38 years old. I mean, Usyk is one of the best. I mean, the guy's 37, 38 years old, and he's. I just don't see it. I don't see Tyson Fury beating him. The date for that fight against Tyson Fury and Usyk. When is that? April 18th, 2026. All right, so it's early next year. Tyson Fury is probably gonna lose. He lost both times in Saudi Arabia. Usyk is probably is on his way to becoming probably one of the best boxers in the history of boxing. The guy is incredible for his age, and have the energy that he has. It's unreal. I just don't see Tyson Fury being the same against him. Tyson Fury has been absolutely killing him. Usyk's been killing Tyson Fury. But I think Tyson Fury's all about the money now and the fame, and that he forgot about winning and now is focusing on just pretty much just running his name out there to stay relevant because he's not the same fighter he once was. Um, so tomorrow we have Diego Lopez in the UFC world versus Gene Silva. Diego Lopez is one hell of a fighter. He just put up one of the best fights against Alexander Volkanovski. They both were trading punches left and right. Volkanovski, I would say, did better that fight. He just won the featherweight belt back. After losing against Ilya Poirier, and then he lost the lightweight championship to Islam Makhachev. A lot of people said Alexander Volkanovski would never be the same, going into the fight against Diego Lopez, but he proved everybody wrong. He's one of my personal favorites. The guy's unbelievable from Australia. Diego Lopez is definitely a dog, though. The guy is unbelievable. He's ranked number 2 in the UFC featherweight division, and Gene Silva is ranked number 10. It would be a win again for either guy. It would probably put them right in the title discussion against Volkanovski. I would love to see Diego Lopez versus Volkanovski again. Those guys would trade punches left and right. Gene Silva is more of a ground and pound Brazilian jiu-jitsu type guy. The guy is unbelievable on the ground. It just I don't see it would. I mean, if I hope Diego Lopez would pull it off, but Gene Silva is incredible on the ground. The guy is insane. I mean, he's got insane cardio. I guess we'll see. We'll see. I want Diego Lopez versus Volkanovski too. I want Conor versus Diaz 3 at the White House. I want John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, but you could always hope. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. But the most exciting thing when it comes to fighting is probably the White House because, we had the Sphere last year, and that was, mind-blowing, and it was one of the best events in the history of the UFC. But the South Lawn of the White House is what Dana White and Donald Trump, have talked about, and that's what it looks like it's going to be. Imagine the fighters coming out of the Oval Office, right out of the office as like a walkout entrance, and walk right into the ring and seeing everybody stand out there and representing the 250th anniversary of the White House. I mean, it's unbelievable. That would be insane. Seeing Conor, if Conor's right now running for president of Ireland, if he wins, the presidency, which would, I don't know if he's gonna win, but imagine if he's the president of Ireland and he wins, and then He wins the election, then he shows up at the White House as the president of Ireland, fighting for Ireland, and then he has a lot of respect for Donald Trump. He has a organization that Donald Trump Jr. just signed up with, a mixed martial arts organization, so they already have that connection. And then Michael Chandler, representing America, and Nate Diaz, they're both Americans. Nate Diaz is from California. He's tough guy. Um, I mean, Nate Diaz, I liked him a lot. I like him a lot, but I just it's I don't know why he took that Jake Paul fight. I mean, I think that was a big waste. He should have just stayed in the UFC. He beat Tony Ferguson in his last UFC fight, which Tony Ferguson is washed. I mean, he was one of the best at the time. He won 13 fights in a row. The guy was incredible. Um, it's probably going to be invite only. The rumor is, well, Dana White said that it's only going to be 5,000 people allowed. It's not going to be 25,000 people on the lawn. The weight of the UFC octagon is about 25,000. 25,000. I mean, that's pretty. It's pretty insane. Um, Here's the thing. The thing is, when it's on the White House, hosting a combat sports event on the White House properly, you need security. You need a bunch of people. You need a bunch of people that need to be checked. And John, John Jones isn't. If he headlined the White House, I mean, he's got kind of a bad criminal record, but he's definitely the biggest UFC fighter there is. There's resistance big time from Dana White, so I don't see it happening. John Jones, man, yeah, he's training 5 days a week. Uh, I just don't see him getting it. McGregor's involvement, if he can get healthy, would be huge for the UFC. I mean, the UFC is not the same without him. The guy's the biggest draw in the history of the UFC, and probably in fighting since probably Mike Tyson, Holyfield days. The guy is the biggest star, but the risk is high. I just don't see, um, you know, anybody fighting Conor McGregor. Nate Diaz or Michael Chandler have to be the guys. It's got to be somebody American. Uh, so what? I don't mean. What do you think? I mean, do you think John Jones is gonna fight on the White House? Because I don't know. I mean, I would love to see it, but Dana White doesn't like him anymore, especially after making him wait, holding up the heavyweight division. You would hope to see it. So maybe I'll check comments, see what you guys are saying. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Uh, it doesn't want to load. All right. So Dana Dana White, the only you would hope the weather would be not a concern for the UFC White House either. I mean, they say if it rains, it's gonna. How are people gonna walk as a fighter on the mat? I mean, you could get seriously hurt too. But you would love to see it. I mean, John Jones and Connor and all these other guys are like rumored. Ronda Rousey's would be sick, but she said she's not fighting on the White House. But she said never say never to a UFC return, which we would see. Uh, I mean, she's kind of she's kind of washed, but I would like to see Ronda Rousey versus Tate again. I mean, I think that would be the only fight that would make sense because I think she would lose to Harrison. She would lose to Amanda Nunes. That's coming back to fight Kayla Harrison. That would be a sick White House fight. You could have Conor versus Chandler or Diaz, or Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison. I mean, Amanda Nunes is probably the greatest UFC women's fighter ever. I mean, she's unbelievable. We have, so 2026 is a big year when it comes to the White House. You know, the end of this year is John Cena's last tour, final farewell tour for WWE, and you know he's retiring from wrestling. And then you have the FIFA World Cup. You know, the betting odds favors Spain to win the World Cup, plus 500, with Brazil, France, England, and then Argentina among the close contenders. Argentina already qualified. Other teams like Spain, Brazil, France, and Argentina, they're all favorites. They all qualified. Venezuela, they've never qualified for a World Cup. Imagine never qualifying for a World Cup as, a country. I mean, it's like the major disappointment. It's an expanded tournament size, 48 teams, more games, more travel, more chance for upsets, fatigue, and underdog teams. I mean, nobody's really home because it's going to be on U.S. soil, which is pretty insane. You would hope Messi would play, at 38 years old for the World Cup, but he keeps giving that hint that he's not going to play. But I believe it'll be Messi or Ronaldo one last time in the grandest stage on the World Cup. He's still going to be 38. I don't know if he'll be 39. Ronaldo will be 41. So he already said he's playing, and he's got the most World Cup qualifying goals. The guy's unbelievable shape. The guy just keeps scoring goals. He's unbelievable. You would hope it would be sick to see Argentina versus Portugal in the World Cup final for their last international game of their career. They're both unbelievable players, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. They played each other back to when they were on their club teams. Barcelona versus Real Madrid. How many times they played in the Copa del Rey? They played in La Liga for the trophy for the championship of Spain. La Liga is the name of the league. Argentina just lost with Messi wasn't playing. I'm not sure why Messi wouldn't play against Ecuador, but they just lost 1-0. But I guess they already qualified and were the first team in South America, CONMEBOL, to qualify for the World Cup. Brazil, I mean, they got Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. is one of the best Brazilian soccer players right now. I mean, I don't know if Neymar is going to be ever on the team again. The Neymar is yo-yo with his health. He's not the same guy as he was before the 20. It was probably the 2014 World Cup. After that, he was never the same because he always was hurt with his legs, got very fragile. You would hope Argentina would win, or Brazil, or Spain, or Portugal. Those are the four probably best teams. England's too. I mean, England's got a great Harry Kane. Harry Kane's one of the best goal scorers in the history of soccer. Guy's unbelievable. So Spain, Yamin Lamal, the kid is unbelievable. I think he's not even 20 years old. The guy's won everything. He's won everything except the World Cup. I think except that he hasn't won the Champions League, the World Cup and the Champions League. He's won the La Liga. He's won the Copa del Rey. He's won everything. The kid is unbelievable. He won the Euro with Spain. So it's just when it comes to trophies, it's just the World Cup and the Champions League, which he could still win. He's very young. He's unbelievable. He's got a great teammate in Rafinha on Barcelona, and Barcelona is building in their midfield, their defense. Ter Stegen was great. They got so many other great players that they have. Real Madrid, I can't stand Real Madrid. but they're always in contention. They're great. Real Madrid is one of the best. Is probably the best team in the history of soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. I mean, uh, they've have the most Champions League trophies. They're just the champs of Europe. I mean, that's just the way they are. Anybody that wants to play other than than Liverpool or PSG or Barcelona, they usually go, or Manchester United. They usually go to Real Madrid. That's the way it goes. I mean, you got Mbappe. He could have got two. Was it $1 billion to go to Saudi Arabia for 2 years? He said no. He said, I'm going to Real Madrid. I mean, forget it. That's it. 2 years you retire. That's it. Or 1 year. I mean, 500 million each year. It's pretty insane. But I don't see other than Barcelona and Real Madrid. I mean, they're the best teams in Europe still. And PSG. PSG's great, but they just lost to Chelsea in the FIFA Club World Cup. I would say between Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, and Chelsea, those are the four best teams in Europe right now. Those teams are great. Lamine Yamal versus Mbappe would be great Champions League final. I mean, those guys are one of the best goal scorers at their age. Still, if Lamine Yamal keeps going, he'll be right up there with Messi and Ronaldo. But he's got a long career. He's got a lot more to prove. Messi is probably the GOAT. He's got 8 Ballon d'Ors. Ronaldo has got 5. I mean, the thing is, when you play in the United States or Saudi Arabia, you won't get those anymore. But Lamine Yamal, I think he will become a Ballon d'Or winner very soon if he keeps it up, because the kid is unbelievable. Unbelievable. 20. I don't even think I think he's 19, 18 or 19, maybe 20 years old. He's 18 and he's unreal. He's unreal. So I guess we'll see how it goes when it comes to the career of Lamine Yamal. The guy is unbelievable. So the NFL season just started. We are heading into week 2, and the New York Giants, they were horrible. The week 1, they lost 21-6. Russell Wilson, people are saying they should bench him for week 2, but head coach Brian Dable, they're saying that he's starting in week 2, which I don't agree with. I do not agree with, because Dart was unbelievable in the preseason. He had almost 30 points per game. He's just better than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson can't run outside the pocket anymore. He can't throw deep. I think he's just a name at this point. The guy is not the same. The question is, everybody keeps asking, is Russell Wilson going to stabilize the Giants' offense, or Dart is when's Dart coming in? Because Dart is unbelievable. There's so many questions still with the Giants QB situation. They just got rid of the third string, Tommy DeVito. I don't know why the Patriots signed him. I guess they're going to use him for a backup. But Jackson Dart is definitely better than Russell Wilson, I would say, as of right now, because his preseason performances, he was just putting up numbers that were insane. Let's see, Jackson Dart. So yeah, I mean Jackson Dart is the real deal, I believe. Trying to pull up his preseason stats. He completed 32 of 47 passes with 372 yards, with 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, adding 6 rushing attempts for 52 yards and a touchdown, resulting in a strong 113.1 passer rating over 3 games. I mean, Russell Wilson couldn't even freaking throw. He was horrible. Russell Wilson was terrible for the Giants. I mean, I would bench him and have Dart. Dart was, I think, has a lot more energy. He only threw 168 yards, 45% completion percentage with the 59% rating, as a QBR rating. That's not good enough for the Giants can't do that. They can't rely on a quarterback to have a 59 QBR rating. It's unacceptable. He's gonna get torn up in New York because he's terrible. As of last week, that's 59 QBR rating is probably one of the worst to start off week 1. So yeah, you got the White House, you got John Cena, you got the Yankees, you got the Mets. They're all, which team is gonna, which team between the Yankees and the Mets are gonna, make a deep run, because the Mets are in it right now. They're in it. So it just depends. Depends if the Yankees were serious when it comes to, making it to the World Series again and winning the World Series. I just don't. Judge has got to be the guy for them to win it all. He's the captain of the team. You can't one guy like Giancarlo Stanton can't save you. And the Mets, they have to get it together as a whole team. They're barely hanging on. A game and a half lead for the, I just don't see them. Honestly, I don't see the Mets hanging on to the wild card spot. It's not because I'm a Yankee fan. It's just because, they've been on a skid and they got to play against the Padres and the Cubs still. And the Padres and the Cubs are way better than the Mets. Way better. And the Reds, I think, have an easier schedule than the Mets. And so do the San Francisco Giants. I mean, they're both right behind them. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll see. Then you got Canelo versus Crawford. I mean, who do you think is going to win that fight? I don't think Crawford is beating Canelo. I think Canelo is going to win by knockout. Terrence Crawford could win. He's very good, 3-time division undisputed champion of the 4-belt era. Would be insane if Terrence Crawford would win. But Canelo he's unnatural at 168 pounds, and I just think Canelo is definitely the best fighter in the since Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo, even though I don't like Floyd Mayweather because he just runs around the ring the whole time, and now he's scheduling fights with Mike Tyson for exhibition fights. I mean, that's like, I have no respect for Floyd Mayweather, even though he's undefeated, and to me he's not. I like aggressive fighters like Mike Tyson. I like Canelo. I like Manny Pacquiao. I mean, Manny Pacquiao should have won the belt a couple of weeks ago. I mean, the guy clearly won the fight at 42 years old, 41, 42 years old. He clearly won that fight, but they decided to label it as a draw. I mean, boxing is a joke now. So I guess we'll see. And when it comes to Diego Lopez and Silva, I think, UFC fight night tomorrow. I think Diego Lopez is going to win. He fights, and then if he wins, I'll give him the fight with Alexander Volkanovski. So those are my takes for tonight, and I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. UFC White House is probably the number one thing I'm looking forward to. I want to see Conor come back. He's my favorite. I want to see Jones come back. I want to see Izzy versus Strickland. That's what I want to see. So I'm glad everybody that joined and supported me on my first show. Thank you for supporting me, and I'm looking forward to doing many more on every Friday. I'm going to have guests soon, very soon. This is going to be. I'm very grateful for everybody that supported me and shared and followed and subscribed on YouTube. I'm just very grateful for it, and I hope you guys have a good night, and let's see what goes on in sports world this week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good night, everybody.